Because the wrestling video about pro wrestling that I just finished up, probably definitely going to hit even more now. But forgive me. Also, I just want to point out also if it sounds like I do pauses in between because I am a little bit kind of congested right now. Got a little bit of a nasal problem going on, breathing. So my apologies about that. But back to because I really don't want to. I'm really just starstruck about this, but really, I just woke up and I just made a community post, so I see y'all reacting to it now. And of course, obviously, I gotta talk about this. I'm just, it seems more appropriate for the truth about pro wrestling because, I really woke up seeing it to our truth in 2025 being released. Wow. WWE really just released our truth, and I bet this went to even a WWE decision. I bet it was TKO, and I bet Triple H even suggested. I don't know. I know, of course, I know the I want to be different people. Of course, are gonna come we already got the naysayers about how they want to pretend and act like now. They're gonna grab it to the obvious answers and revelations about the fact that R-Truth is he's in his 50s, he's an old man. He hasn't really done anything of substantial within the past the time that he's been employed, and that's probably the last even decade or however many years, 30 years or however of his career. And it's okay, because some of that does have sentimental value. There is some kind of reality to that, I will say. But obviously, saying it myself too. R-Truth, obviously, he's not one of their top guys. R-Truth is not a position that Cody is in right now, and that so many of guys is black. That's not R-Truth, and has never been R-Truth. And I just feel like he was much more valuable in another asset, and he had such a character too. One of the very few people too nowadays too, and that was in that company that had it such that you gravitated towards that, and that you had a reason. And I feel like too he was always he was one of those individuals and personalities that felt whenever he's on TV, he's gonna make you laugh. He's gonna make you feel something. He's gonna entertain you in whichever way possible, in which I feel one of the very few wrestlers, especially today, that really understood what it meant too. And for whatever reason, they just let him go. Having so many, people can say what they want. Of course, like I say, even people in my circle, and just gonna relegate it up to R-Truth is not really he's a whatever jobber or whatever. We know that, but he was still a fucking valuable asset. You have to be an idiot not to believe that. There's so many people that liked R-Truth. He he wasn't a top guy. He didn't move or he probably sold some merch, and it's not to say that he has sold some merch and fans do like him. You cannot say that. You can't tell me that. He's R-Truth, obviously, when it comes to a role as far as his position that has been, especially for the last decade or however many years, of course he's had a jobber role. But you can't fucking say that he hasn't been an invaluable asset. If that was the case, then why didn't Vince release him years ago? Because the people, of course, I'm different, or I want to act of course, I know fuck all about now, seeing that the business just exposed everything, or I just started watching and sets. I started watching during and I'm during the 2000s too. I'm a 2000s baby. I grew up during primarily during the Ruthless Aggression era. So it really pisses me off that you have dumb fucks that act because they even more so close that they feel like they were even more close to a period that they can now say that it's because he wasn't really that valuable. You sound dumb as fuck. like R-Truth, not to say that R-Truth was like he was a clear valuable asset, and that he didn't move that he didn't at one prior. It's like at some point it still does. It's like he doesn't move merchandise, probably in his own way, sell tickets, and is a valuable asset in a way because he entertains people. So yeah, like I just like speaking my piece on that. Which yes, like shutting the fuck up on that because no, like obviously when regarding his position, he's not he didn't have a John Cena type of role. Austin, like that's very fucking clear, obvious. But it's not to say that R-Truth he did like what clearly didn't add and wasn't just a very big deal. Like I said, if that was the case, if that was the fucking case, Vince would have released him years ago. So I don't want to hear that bullshit. And people acting like they really know what the deal is. Like, shut the fuck. Like, please. You sound idiotic. Really idiotic. Because you're gonna have that now. You're gonna have dumbass like come out there with like please just stop, bro. Not to somebody like an R-Truth. Just please stop. Stop. Because he's been prominently featured on television. Like I said, like, please, and quit it with that bullshit. But I mean, like to wrap it all up to really like a little bit to what I want to say, like yeah, like wow. It just really goes to show you where WWE is at and how Remain TKO really has any say. I mean, given that they have majority share, that their partnership, regardless, but just wow. Probably just we find out for like these last 5 years of just how corporatized and just how much more about money WWE is much more about. Because man, that's a motherfucker about R-Truth. R-Truth's where we really thought had a job for life with WWE. Obviously, at some point he was gonna leave, but I beg to differ that if this was on his own accord, it does sound like. I mean, he said it himself. It's on his social medias and everything about being released. He just got pretty much they're firing him. They just let him go. Like, this isn't like a type of legends like they're sending him out on his well wishes. No, like it sounds they fired him, and that's what he said it himself. It's coming from himself. So damn, I mean, I'm kind of shocked about it, given that how many other liabilities that does need to be let go, and they let go R-Truth instead. It just doesn't make any sense, bro. It doesn't make any sense. But it just goes to show you how WWE is much more, like I said, it's just with TKO 2, given that it's much more about money than it is about really being about itself anymore.